Hey everyone, this is Mr. Molo with your 5.5 to 5.7 tips and tricks videos here. So remember, we're just doing it from 5.5 to 5.7. So we're going to kind of have two quizzes in here instead of a quiz and a test in this chapter, just because where we left off with the learning cycle, we just did 5.5, 5.6, and 5.7 this past week instead of trying to remember stuff from 5.1 through 5.4 from a couple weeks ago. So like always, there is a review in big ideas there that is optional. So if you see it there, 5.5 to 5.7 review, optional. And then we'll go through that here in a second. But first, let's look at the quiz. So hopefully we avoided some issues from last time. Hopefully I have in there like the answer is like -10. I have -10 in as an answer. I also have like space -10 as an answer and like negative space 10 as an answer. So hopefully we avoided all that issues from last time. But I did kind of change the quiz a little bit where only the first 5 questions you're putting in your answer, and then all the other ones are multiple choice, either yes, no, or they are a drop down, okay? So the first couple questions, you are solving for x, solving for x, solving for x, and then solving for x with the absolute values. And remember, when there's absolute value, there is 2 answers. Also on the first 3, it says solve for x, and then if it's a no solution, put a capital NS, and if it's an infinitely many solutions, put a capital IMS. So same thing here on these first 3, put a answer there with a number, or put in NS or IMS. 4 and 5, same thing. There's no many solutions or no solutions for these, so there's just 2 answers there. So put those in those 2 blanks. Then once we get to 6 and 7, we have some yes and no's. And then once we get to 8 on, we got some graphing problems. So is this an X or a Y? Is it a less than or a greater than or greater than or equal to or less than or equal to? And then a choice of 4 numbers there. So hopefully that makes it easier there where it's not the test is grading it wrong because you're putting in the same answers that I are allowed to have. And then kind of the same thing here. Don't get confused. So like line A is this vertical line right here. Line B is this horizontal line right there. So make sure you're putting in the right stuff for those lines there. So 10 and 11 are a little tougher because they have 2 lines that you have to put in. And then 8 and 9 are a little easier because you just have 1 line. And then also with 8 and 9, notice how they're either vertical or horizontal lines. Same thing with 10. And then once you get to 11, then these things actually have a slope. So now there's 4 blanks there. So still your x or y is greater than or less than, but then now you have a number in front of the x for your slope. So either 1, -1, 2, -2, +1/2 or -1/2. And then the same thing, you still have your y-intercepts like you did on the other ones. And then kind of going through the review, so kind of the same thing. So I didn't want to assign this as your quiz because it makes you graph, and you can graph those problems or you can not graph those problems. But this was going to take off points for not graphing. Otherwise, this is going to be good practice. Solving for x again. Is this an ordered pair to the solution? Is this an ordered pair to the solution? And then some good graphing ones. So very similar. The review and the test review and quiz, are very similar. So if you want to get some practice before then, I would do that. Skip number 8. We didn't do anything with intersections and stuff like that. If you're going to do the review, otherwise then the review and the quiz look pretty similar. So might be a good place for you to start. We will go through the review in class, and then it'll be the rest of the time will be there for you to take that quiz.